Phase 1, Part 1. Managing wasted time. You are going to waste time on purpose. You're a human, you're going to do it, but you need to manage it the best you can. The best example I can use is video games. For most people, video games are a waste of time. Most games don't make the player think, and most people don't play video games to earn a living. They are an unproductive hobby, which is all a hobby really is. Personally, I played The Division 2. It's a looter shooter, and I can't really tell you why I like it, but I do. While I was playing it, I got to the Black Tusk Invasion. It was a pretty interesting take on reusing game assets to fill what could be late to mid-game gameplay. It was fun, it was challenging, however it didn't take long for my gear to become inadequate. It also didn't take long for me to realize I had reached a point where farming and grinding was required. So I stopped playing. And this is what I would consider a great example of managing wasted time. When your wasting of time becomes satisfying because you have been deprived of satisfaction for the last 3 hours, can you say that time was well spent? Especially when you'll have to do the same thing every couple of levels. Same thing goes for every other hobby. What good is satisfaction when it is only rewarded because of a lack of it for extended periods of time? I need to also add that these periods of time are negated when skill and technique fills them. A know-nothing fisherman who goes to the closest body of water and puts power bait on his line probably finds the time getting to the water and the time between fishing exhausting, while an expert fisherman that explores different watering holes, studies the water and land around it, and uses certain lures and techniques to catch the fish he wants. Which one do you think has a greater experience and walks away more full of life? I think this is a fundamental first before you consider whatever your form of time management is. You need to understand that a 3-hour slot of grinding in a video game, 5-hour slot of grinding in a video game, 8, 10 hours, whatever. Like, that's how some people grind. I'm going off the cuff right now. But it's ridiculous how much time people will grind in a video game. Like, nonstop. Like, they will do that for 10 hours. That is a whole day. You spend a whole day grinding a video game to get, like, one fucking piece of equipment. That's ridiculous. You know, like, that amount of time could be replaced with an hour of high-action first-person shooter, and you can put the controller down, feeling like you played for hours, when you only played for one. And I think this is the purest form of having your cake and eating it too. Alright, so that's the end of my scripted part of this. So I'm just going to start riffing off the cuff and just kind of explain what this is. So I wanted a way to log my progress in the gym. And I've been doing this for maybe like 2 months or something like that. I've been doing starting strength, you know, the linear progression, all that fancy stuff. And, you know, I just kind of got tired of having all these videos on my phone. So I was like, well, why not use YouTube? You know, and use it as a way to essentially log everything so I don't have to keep these videos on my phone. And, you know, the maybe existential part of me also thought, well, I could die tomorrow. So let's leave something out there that can at least last longer than me. You know, because my memory will obviously live on, the people that I've, you know, talked to and had experiences with, but, you know, after that, you know, there's really nothing. So I was like, well, let's just start something that, you know, we can put on the internet and it'll just be there forever. You know, I'm like, I'm okay with that. You know, I'm okay with this existing long after I die. So that's kind of what this is. And it's also a log of my thoughts. You know, there's a guy who was talking about, I can't even remember his name. He was a ruler of Europe, or ruler of Rome, and he wrote this book called Meditations. And it wasn't even supposed to be a book. It was just supposed to be a diary for this one dude who had this serious pressure, serious temptations on his back because of what he did. I mean, he ruled an entire nation. So it can be understandable that, you know, some dude's got to write some stuff down, you know, get it out of his head. And all it was just him writing stuff down day to day on, you know, what he was doing. And, you know, like his own thoughts of his own experiences. And so I kind of started thinking about that myself, and maybe I should do something like that, you know, just have some sort of log. So, you know, maybe if I do die, there's something out there to kind of show who I was, you know, be like, this is who he was. You know, he would, some of it was scripted, but the majority, you know, just off the fucking cuff, whatever he could kind of think of. And I think, you know, this is already a pretty great example of who I am. But, I was thinking about, so anyway, the meditations. I was just thinking about that, and then I started thinking about, can't remember his name, but he was a weightlifter. And this guy, big fella, I don't know if he was on gear or not, but I remember seeing this video of him squat 1,000 pounds, 1,000 fucking pounds. That's like half a car, full car, motorcycle. I don't fucking know how much 1,000 pounds is. It's way more than I can squat. I can squat like 190 in this video. That's what I was doing. Over at press, I max out at 100, which we'll see in a little bit. So I'm like, so just 1,000 fucking pounds. That's 5 times. That's more than 5 times what I'm lifting right now. I'm like, that is ridiculous. And, you know, it was probably at that point where that last 100 pounds or whatever, that might have taken him like the last 5 years to do. You know, the last 5 years of his lifting career, maybe 3 or whatever, was adding that last 100 pounds to get to that 1,000. And, you know, that's kind of the same thing, like, with this managing of wasted time. Like, Clarence Kennedy also talked about it. He's Olympic weightlifter, but he started talking about how when he's only adding like a kilogram to his snatch and clean and jerk, like he's going to be done. Or at least, I don't know what else he's going to do. I mean, I don't know where the hell you would go after being an Olympic lifter for this long. Like, what else do you do? I mean, you obviously have determination to do something. But other than that, like, what experiences do you have? Because I don't know if he went to college or something. But I guess you could always go to college later in life, and if he's made decent money, he's probably saved up for it. But it's just kind of one of those things where I think Clarence Kennedy has the right mindset, is that when your progress gets so stagnant that you're barely making any progress, like 1 kilogram a year, like, cut it off. Like, start doing something else. Or at least just keep your strength where it is and then go do something else. Like, I have the same plan. Like, I want to get my overhead press to my body weight, my bench to 1.5 times, my squat to 2 times my body weight, and then my deadlift to 2.5 times my body weight. And at that point, I'd be pretty satisfied. And if I could just keep those constant measurements with my body's fluctuation, so like maybe I want to be 250. I got a fucking overhead press, 250. I got a deadlift, whatever 250 times 2.5 is. I'm not going to do the fucking math. I'm not going to fucking do it. But that is always just a standard. If I can get to that point, I'll stop going to the gym 3 times a day. I'll go to the gym fucking 2 times a day, or 2 times a week, 1 time a week, whatever it is to essentially keep that strength. Because after that point, you're probably going to plateau so fucking hard that what's really the point of still going? You're stronger than the majority of people. You're able to move your fucking body like a champ. You're going to be able to move most of anything that you come across. So why put any more effort into it? I feel like that is truly super wasted time, which I think is maybe what I'll consider, the 3 hours of grinding in a fucking video game. It's super wasted time. Because you can waste time, but then you're super wasting. And, okay, now I'm kind of running out of steam now. I don't know what else to talk about. Because this was all kind of the same purpose of managing wasted time. So now I'm just going to shift to personal life stuff. And COVID, especially now, like, I don't have a job, but, I was sharpening knives, which has been rather interesting, just trying to start your own business. But it is so boring not having a normal day-to-day job and being in a situation where you're in a town where you know nobody. Like, you meet probably 2, 3, 5 people, something like that. I've probably met 5 people. Let's just say that. Like, had semi-decent long conversations with about 5 people in like the last 2 fucking months. It is exhausting. Your like just humanity starts to break down. And I'm not trying to be dramatic. It genuinely is. Like, the level of primal I have gone to is ridiculous. I'm like, I eat fucking chicken, rice, potatoes, and green beans every fucking day. That's it. I eat, for breakfast, I eat oats, eggs, egg whites, a banana, and fucking peanut butter. And I've been doing that for at least a week at this point. I don't care. I'm like, I am eating the same shit every day. And it's the most boring, bland stuff. I put olive oil on my potatoes just so they're not dry. That is it. That's my one complaint about my food. Not even the fact that there's a lack of flavor. I'm like, I might put salt and pepper on my food if I'm fucking bothered enough to go do it. But if I'm not, I don't even bother. I just eat that shit with a blank face, and then I go do something else. And, that's my one problem with this whole pandemic, is it is just monotonous, and it's so garbage. I'm like, I just want to go back to normal life. Absolutely. And, we could have done it. We could have just said to everybody, we're just going to completely shut down for like 3 weeks, and we could have been done. Like, if we just shut everything down, like maybe had a couple of cops, but told everybody, stay in your house, you're not allowed to fucking leave, we would have been over with this. Probably, maybe. I don't know. I'm not a germologist or whatever it is, but I'm just saying, we probably could have been done with this, more than a year ago. And I'm pretty sure the only people that are happy with this whole situation are the people that invested in Amazon or some shit when it crashed. But anyway, I'm running out of time, so I'm going to call it a day. This is a pretty successful first episode.